Well, that was a close one, huh, guys?
That was a close one.
Ahoo.
Who we?
Whew.
Who we?
Hooey.
Who are we?
Don't go da 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 da.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show.
Hey guys, welcome to the Valleycast. How you guys doing, man? This is the first time I've done a podcast or spoken post Hellpocalypse, LA Hellpocalypse.
This is yeah, all of us? I don't think any of
Just
us.
me. I don't know. Have you guys talked to anybody publicly? Have you ever spoken publicly about any of this?
No,
You
I
guys-
kept my mouth pretty well.
You got to keep your mouth shut.
I'm pretty much reclusive on social media.
Yeah. You know, there's all those people that are like, you know, they're posting and posting and posting and posting. Here's the good things I'm doing. Here's the good things I'm doing. Here's the cool shit I'm doing. Here's the stuff you can't do that I'm doing.
Snapping. Is this a song? This is the song.
Man, we are I think we're in the process of containing these like nightmare fires that have been happening all across Los Angeles. But I think the three boys here are okay. Joe, you probably were the closest, maybe, or no, Elliot, you probably were a little close too.
Elliot's close. I'm close. I'm in Burbank, and Burbank is this weird, like, central eye of the storm from
Yeah.
like all of these big fires that are happening. I'm almost equidistant from all of them, and the winds are being so kind to Burbank. The Palisades fire is kind of blowing out towards the ocean, and then the Pasadena fire, the Altadena fire, is also blowing the opposite way, even though that's just over the ridge here.
And you could just see it. You could see it. Did you see flames from your home?
I can see no, but I can now see
Good.
the flames peeking over the ridge over into Encino all the way from the Palisades fire, which is frightening.
Yeah, it's been
that's the big concern now, I think, is as of this date, which is Sunday the 12th or 13th or whatever.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what could happen, but from now, but it seems to be that they're sorry, I'm getting choked up. It seems to be that they're getting you know, they're fixing it. I don't know. Seems to be contained. They're containing it finally.
Yep. On that note, I have, in honor of the fires that are largely due to the Santa Ana winds, I've provided a clip for us to play in the chat, Steve, if you want to
Oh,
kick it up.
yeah, I
It's
see
about a
that.
minute. The first minute should take care of it.
Okay, let's see.
It's just one of the greatest movie lines in history.
Okay, hang on a
Oh,
second.
can you play the video?
Yeah, let me pause that, and then we'll get this video going in here. I've never seen this movie.
Well, you are missing out.
Is it you do enjoy this movie?
No, I personally
Oh
don't.
no, I hate
People
this
do
fucking-
love this movie.
I'm excited. I have no clue where we're going with this.
Okay.
You just wait for it.
Okay, don't recognize it yet.
Just appreciate this scene for what it is and the era from which it
Hi.
comes.
Hi.
I'm so sorry. I'm new at the gate thing.
It's okay. It was pretty funny. I'm Miles. I work with Ethan,
Ethan?
Amanda's ex.
Oh, right. Right.
Do you know when she'll be back? I'm supposed to pick up a couple things.
Amanda's in England, actually, on holiday. I'm staying here for a few weeks while she's away. Oh,
Uh-oh. You okay?
yes.
Oh.
Yes, I just blew into my eye.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me see. Yep, you
there.
got something in your eyelash. You want me to get it?
Okay.
This never happens.
Yeah, Santa Ana's.
Pardon?
The wind, it's what makes it so warm this time of year. Legend has it, when the Santa Anas blow, all bets are off. Anything can happen. That's it. You okay?
Better. Thank you.
So you're
That's it.
saying that was showcasing the dangers of the Santa Ana winds?
Look, okay, here's the game. 3 hours from now, try to remember what that line was. You won't be able to do it.
They say
Oh,
that and anything can happen.
Is that all bets are off? Anything can happen.
oh my god!
Santa Ana wins.
I don't think I ever want to see that movie.
Santa Ana wins, man.
That was really awkward and bad.
And who
I
among
have
us
seen that movie.
who
Oh,
among
go
us
ahead.
hasn't gotten something stuck in our eyelash and been like, boy, I wish someone else would take their fingers and put it in my eye to get it out.
Also, like maybe on paper that worked that moment,
I
but
don't yeah.
what are we looking at in the screen? Like you can't if someone's got something in their eye, you can't just like pull it out with your hand.
Oh, here, you want me to get that for you?
No, you cannot do that. Yeah, you can't let me get that for you if something's in your eye.
Yeah, Santa
Hey, let
Ana
me pick up
wins.
some dirt and rub it in my fingernails real quick. Can I
Yeah,
get that?
hang
Yeah.
on. Pooey.
Yeah,
Let's
I
get
just
this.
arrived at your door. Yeah.
What? That was horrible.
The
That movie
San-
is The Holiday, and
Was that
a lot of people love that rom com.
a lot of people do. And,
Ugh.
and a lot of people voted for Hitler, you know?
That movie is not
Name
great.
one.
Actually, I couldn't. Yeah.
That movie is not great, but the worst part about it is like the first time that like Jack Black is just going for normal. Like he's
Yeah.
not being Jack Black in it. It's so weird.
I didn't
It's
like it.
disconcerting.
I didn't
It's
like
unnerving.
looking at that. I didn't like looking at that.
Uh-uh.
I didn't love looking at that, Elliot.
I know. It's pretty painful, and I wanted to share it.
Was that supposed to be they end up together, those two people?
Yeah.
That was their meet cute. That was their meet cute.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was awful. That's the most awful meet cute I think I've ever seen.
All bets are off. Anything can happen.
God damn. That's terrible. Anyway, we don't have to go on and on about the nightmare of the fires in LA, but I will say that there is a fire season in LA, and
It's from January to December.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know, and that's when it's the most that's when at any time it could be the fire like that could be possible. And but this is the worst that it has ever been in my lifetime.
Oh, it's hands down one of the worst in American history. It's so devastating and so all-encompassing for some of these communities that it's you know how people can't comprehend like what $1 billion looks like?
Yeah.
Our brains isn't set for it. It's the
Yeah.
same with this. The devastation is it's insane.
Right.
It's you can't even really put it in your head. And the fact that, you know, you said contain earlier, but we're like not even close, and we are supposed to have those wins again in like 4 days.
Mhm.
And it's man, I just hope they can kind of set a perimeter before it gets into Encino and crosses the 405, perhaps. Like, and that would be
If you cross for it, that's yeah.
that would be them because Brentwood's another like very affluent community that has a lot of history, and that's also really scary right now. But if it crosses the 405, we're talking like UCLA right away. A lot of scary shit. It's
Yeah.
We were on our way back yesterday from Palm Springs, and we left Wednesday. And on the way back, you know, you're going from sunny skies to very quickly not sunny skies. But then before we even got into LA, I was like, what is that like plume of smoke that's like has like a car broken down? And then we get up to it, it's like a quarter mile up, and there's a fire that had broken out on the side of the
God.
freeway, like 15 by 15 feet. And somebody, excuse me, had stopped by the side of the road, and I think they were like calling the fire department. But it was like these things. I don't know if it was a cigarette butt. I don't know if it was someone, you know, doing nefarious activities or whatever. But it was like a big fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Just
that
driving by it, and we were like, "Oh, okay, yep."
yeah, because we have hella vegetation all up in her, and we have very little water up in her, and we
We had
haven't
two of
had
the wettest years in history that grew a bunch of vegetation, and then the
Right.
drought starts, so all that vegetation just becomes
which is crazy because it's like, you know, this last big storm, flood, water, rain thing we had was like it felt like it was never gonna end. Like remember
Yeah.
that? We were just raining and raining and raining. And it like helped out our reservoirs or reservoirs. Like it filled our reservoirs and
Weird
that's
word.
really and that's really good. And that's a good thing. Like we had a lot of rain reserves, water reserves. You know, California's always in a drought and all that shit too, because we get very little rain and we don't really have a rain season, whatever. And so it was good. This last rain that happened, the rainfall was very good, but it also, again, like Elliot said,
It was 8 months ago.
it was 8 months ago and it hasn't happened again. And that's the big problem, is that if it doesn't happen again, then we have all this dry brush, we have all this new vegetation, and it's just, and when the Santa Anas come in,
All bets are off. Anything can happen.
Yeah, Santa Ana's.
Pardon?
The wind, it's what makes it so warm this time of year. Legend has it, when the Santa Anas blow, all bets are off. Anything can happen.
God, I hate it so much.
I know, right? It gets into some part of your heart that it like shouldn't. It's horrible.
yeah,
It makes me feel disgusting when I listen to that.
it's like when you eat the greasiest fried thing and you're like, this is so fucking good, and then like half an hour later you're like, oh fuck, this sucks.
Yep.
It feels like it's stuck to my lungs.
Uh, the the other scary part about it all is we were like just moments from, or one bucket of water from, literally Hollywood burning down.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, damn, are we gonna watch the Hollywood sign burn down? And like, we're gonna like, that was
Yeah.
crazy. That was a crazy thing to watch live. And the news is like, man, we had to turn the news off after a while because it's like there's no updates, but they're still like, but they need to keep the content going. So it's just like endless gloom and nightmare and like, fear mongering. And look, like, there wasn't really much to fearmonger outside of what was actually happening to a lot of these people. Devastating shit. But for those that were like able to kind of just like stay at a far enough away distance and weren't really harmed by the fire stuff, it was just like nightmares watching the news.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think a lot of my family, like extended family and stuff, they were reaching out, which is very sweet. And a lot of it is like the footage that you see on the news kind of doesn't remind you that LA is a massive, massive city. And not to
No.
downplay what was happening, but it's just like speaks to how large this place is, where it makes it look like every square inch of all of Los Angeles
Is
just
ablaze.
bursting into flames.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
But
That felt
really
like
that
for a
it's
little
close
bit.
enough. Yeah.
but that's the thing. It's like, you because we living in LA, and hearing that LA is on fire, the first thing you want to do is like talk, text, make sure all of your LA friends
Mhm.
are okay. And living in LA, you don't know, where someone is currently, where they live, whatever. And so you don't know, even in LA, if your friends who also live in LA are affected by it until you're like, hey, are you okay? And it's like, luckily, most of my friends were like, we just have hella smoke and fucking ash, and it's like really bad for our lungs and shit. So I know a lot of people escaped to Palm Springs, which is very smart. And I just fucking moved to Long Beach, which is like, what the actual fuck? What kind of timing is that? Because Sherman Oaks, the Valley, eventually had their own evacuation warning, and Mike, who I used to live very close to, still lives in the Valley, had to get the fuck out of Dodge with Zoya. And he's like, I took my hard drives, I took my cameras. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. So it's like, it's hard to know who in LA, even though you know all these LA people, it's hard to know who in LA is like actually affected by it. So it's fucking huge. To the point where we don't even know, and we all know LA people.
What people also aren't, I don't think, understanding is that, the fire takes precedence in the mind because the images are scary and everything like that. But those Santa Anas, they're not.
All bets are
There's
off, they
people aren't
say.
being hyperbolic, man. All bets are off because there was destruction and devastation minus the fires. Like those winds were crazy. My neighborhood is littered with trees and massive branches, just
when I
uprooted.
You've seen
Yeah.
my like outside my place. We live in a bush, and like I walk out and I am sliding on the concrete because it's carpeted in branches, and I'm not trying to complain about this in comparison to the destruction that
No,
it
but everybody
wreaked
had their own
everybody.
little hell
like,
going on.
Yeah, and to make matters, the worst thing is that we went to Walmart in Palm Springs and got a leaf blower, and I was really excited about it, and it
That's
was
nice.
broken. It doesn't work when I
Wait, it
take
didn't
out.
work out of the box?
It didn't work out of the box. I haven't had something not work out of the box since I was like 11.
What's going on with this country? This country is going to shit.
Everything's falling apart, dude. I'm about to call
Ugh.
customer service tomorrow, but it doesn't open until 9 o'clock on Monday.
Did you?
Nightmare, dude. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
But we were genuinely worried about like the tree branches and stuff.
Well,
I had a
sure.
buddy who had a tree branch fall on his
That's a
neighbor's
genuine.
garage.
That's the thing. Everyone
And,
loves the palm trees. The palm trees are like it's a
mhm,
big part of the aesthetic of Los Angeles, of California. Those
for
palm
now,
trees are not indigenous. They were brought in and they were stuck down into the ground, and they're death traps. They're like night.
they're
They're
dying.
like they're. It's like an arsenal. As soon as the wind comes through, those fronds can break car windows and fucking everything.
Yep.
No bueno.
Knock people out.
Did you see the video of like somebody was fleeing LA and they were, I think they were going out towards Palm Springs, Elliot, and they're like, oh, the winds were so bad that, and then they just show like 100 semi trucks that were blown over on the side of the road.
Oh my gosh,
They were
no.
driving down. Yeah,
The trucks blew over because of the
Whoa.
wind.
because of the wind.
Fuck,
Yeah,
man.
just on the side of the road.
Because a lot of those valleys are just like wind tunnels.
Yep. So this is like it's a legit problem, and the fact that they're coming back and they say that it won't be as bad as last time, but some significant ones are coming in the next few days is really
Mhm.
really scary.
Tomorrow and Tuesday, I think, are the big days, is what I've heard, but it's hard to get a firm. And I'm also like, how do you know? Like, it's wind.
I know you don't know, and our hearts go out to anybody who lost their homes and and the dangers and animals, and it becomes really it gets worse the more you spiral down into like how exactly people were individually affected by all this shit.
Yeah.
And but it'll be really really interesting to see the aftermath of this and kind of just what's going to happen to LA infrastructure. Are people going to leave and never come back because
Yeah.
that type of
Yes.
devastation is possible and can happen again at any moment?
I think here's my prediction. One, every insurance company, because they have already started, are going to pull out of the area, at least for fire. So you're not going to be able to insure your shit anymore. And LA, the entertainment industry is already kind of on the downswing.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a big push to a lot of it migrating to Atlanta and Vancouver. I I don't see it being the same moving forward for a
Mhm.
number of
It just
reasons.
hasn't been since COVID already.
And
Yeah.
uh there'll be a couple events that kind of keep it big and feeling still like Los Angeles because we still have the Olympics coming. We still have the World Cup coming. So that's going to make this still feel like an epicenter. But I do think things change moving forward for sure. And man, talking about nightmares, there's also a reoccurring nightmare going on with this that's really frustrating. But before that, one positive thing. I was always scared of big disasters in LA because at times I felt like everybody's just so kind of in their own bubble here. I always said it didn't really feel like a community at times, but man, people are coming together and really, really reaching out for their fellow man. It's pretty inspirational. It's actually made me like
Oh,
it.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good-
we were looking into, and still are, and probably will at some point, but we were like, what do we do? And we thought about doing like a fostering a dog, because a lot of
That's
the
a huge
shelters
need for that right now. Yeah.
there is. And apparently though, everyone else had that idea, and so like we've reached out to multiple places and they've just been like, thank you, we'll reach out later, but we're like totally full right now. They're like, please don't give us blankets. This is like Pasadena Humane, and they were like, we're overrun right now with things because of the generosity of other people.
Love
And it's
it.
just really like disappointing on one end because it's like, oh, that'd be cool to do, but then it's really heartwarming to be like, oh yeah, people are actually showing up, and like the donations and like the volunteering seems to be
Yeah,
very beautiful.
Airbnbs are being given away for free. People are renting out hotels for
Mhm.
it's encouraging to see that side of it all. Now, the thing that's really pissing me off is the reoccurring nightmare that is when this happened last time. We had a big orange piece of shit in office, and he
I
politicized.
know. And here we go again.
He threatened to withhold funds, and it was a nightmare, and he's doing it again and fueling this fucking anti-California sentiment, which is just so disgusting. And you see so many people online being like, fuck California, they deserve
This
it.
is what they deserve. Yeah.
And it's like, fuck off. It really, really, as much as what I said before softens the heart, there's a lot of things that harden the heart here as well. And it's It's not a
Is
fun thing to watch. It's indicative of the times, and man, it's so anger inducing.
I
Very
mean, that's the
dumb
thing
too.
about these is that they're a reminder of how people can come together and help each other, and then they're a reminder of how like shitty people can be too. And
The
with all, especially with like, there were the lootings happening, and then there were the people that were like, and now all the fucking uh, um, conspiracy theories are coming out of like, oh, how many of these things were arson, and like and this was all arson. Every fire was arson, and it's like this happens. This happens all the time, and it's the simplest explanation is always like the right answer, right? Like it's just like the fucking downed power lines, the transformers exploding, those Santa Ana winds, Elliot.
All bets are off.
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Legend says.
I mean, definitely the arson stuff is scary though, because the Hollywood fire, the Sunset Fire, was like there that. I mean, seems pretty clearly. The first thought on everyone's mind was that it was definitely
There
some
was
kind of
also a
arson.
structure fire in Studio City that night that started inside of an abandoned house. So
Yeah,
there's some conspiracy theory
and
blood in
there's
my veins right now.
Well,
reports of
I
people
mean,
seeing people dump gas and that kind of thing, and
yeah, yeah. Well, there's always going to
always
be
ne'er
the
do wells.
the people that are like, yeah, they see a thing on the news like that. That's the whole thing with like even the mass shootings and things like that. Is that there's always copycat type people that are like, oh, look how easy it is and look how famous you get for doing shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the nature of this is the grab bag of shit we get in disasters like this. It's like
Yeah,
fear mongering, conspiracies, communities helping each other. Like there's just all this shit that happens at once, and then on top of it, there's all this like we all look to the government and the officials and the fire departments to like help us and give us answers and tell us what we need to do and where we need to go and it's like they're freaking out. Like there's hardly an infrastructure for this magnitude of a disaster.
There is not one.
It's
And
crazy.
the other misconception that sucks is that everybody's like, well, they're celebrities. They're going to be fine.
They've got money.
Yes, some celebrities have lost their homes, but the Palisades, that's an old school neighborhood where a lot of families had lived there forever and their houses were gift down, a lot of elderly folk, and they're they are not filled with the type of money that everybody is expecting. So many, I think,
Yeah, the rich people
working-class
thing is
people.
pissing me off a little
Well, and
bit.
so many
Yeah.
working class people have been affected by this because it isn't just the Palisades either. Like thousands of homes were lost over in Altadena, and that's like pull your bootstraps up type of community. It's
mm-hmm.
your everyday people that are just trying to live with their families and get started, and it's all been just taken away from them.
And the businesses
Altadena.
and stuff.
I was reading Joe or Steve. I know you know who this is, but his name's like Joe Rohn or something. But he's like the big Imagineer for Disney
Oh
for
yeah,
however long.
yeah.
He's made some really like cool and very beautiful posts about what's going on. But one of them was about how Altadena was this like sort of nexus point for a bunch of Imagineers in like
Oh
the 60s and
shit.
70s because they couldn't afford houses elsewhere. And so he was like, a bunch of these houses that are going down are on the insides like exemplars of creativity that you see at Disney, but they're also the same people that have come up with like all the rides and the movies that
Ugh.
we've all grown up on. It was really
I
kind of
mean,
cool
and
post.
and the thing is like of course this city is filled with a bunch of creatives and people that made things that made you laugh and cry and smile and happy and distracted you from the hellish nightmares of like sort of the things that are happening now. But at the bottom of all of that, the root of all of it is that like we are all human beings that don't want these things to happen to
Yeah,
ourselves and we don't want them to happen to other people. And if you put yourself in these people's shoes that are losing their homes, regardless if it's their third home, fourth home, whatever, this is devastating to happen to anybody. And we have to have a little bit of fucking empathy for these people. We can't just be like, oh, rich LA, this is what they deserve, the fucking perverts and heathens and drug addicts. But it's like it could happen anywhere, disasters like this, and we don't want them to happen. And we just need a little empathy right now. Give people time to grieve the loss of these these homes that they've had in their families for generations, and the possessions that are irreplaceable, and and be thankful that they have their lives. These people are okay. But let's not even talk about the aftermath of the shit in the air that everyone's breathing in. Everyone, like, this is like long-term bad shit that we just need to
Yeah.
share a little empathy and give people time to handle before we're like, hey, fuck these guys type shit. It's just awful.
Somebody made a really good point, and they were like, usually when you think of forest fires, you're like, okay, there's smoke, right? It's in the air. It's like a
It's like a
campfire.
campfire, yeah.
But the thing is that all these houses are super old, and that's what's burning. And what's being thrown up into the air is everything that went into that house to build that house. So if some of these houses have asbestos, and all of the things within a home are going up into the air and into people's lungs. Cars are burning, like all of this stuff.
It's all mixing up into this poisonous gas,
up.
essentially.
It's not good.
And animals are breathing it in, and people are breathing it. Like, all I could do here in Long Beach was be like, I have room for people if any of my friends want to come and escape. And the air quality in Long Beach was fucking horrible because the Santa Anas, which are, legend has it, unpredictable.
Anything can happen.
And the wind blew all of that garbage over here like the second or third day, and it was like, well, shit, maybe it isn't safe to be here now. But we were all indoors, and we were like trying to filter out the air, not opening any windows. We were essentially like just breathing in our own farts like an airplane here, because the crazy part is some people were like, I left my window open. They weren't even near the fires. I left my window open, and I just had this like fucking layer of ash like all over the inside of my house where the window was open, because the wind's just carrying all that poison shit everywhere. It's fucking
That's like,
crazy.
I mean, my wife's car, I'm too scared to even look in it because like we
that
suffered
broken
a
window.
drive-by shooting. Yeah, and I covered it with like a bunch of tape and like plastic trash bags. There's no way that whole thing isn't just covered in
Yeah, it might need to get some
ash.
detail work in there.
Oh,
Get
it'll
some
have to
people
be,
cleaning it out.
I mean,
yeah.
it's already got broken glass everywhere. Also, fun fact: California pays $5 in federal money for every $1 they receive. So, just throwing that out there.
That's a fun little post that I saw. Again, an angry Californian responding to people being like, "Fuck you, you deserve it." California is the fourth biggest economy in the world, and the reason this country is able to do a lot, from food to financing to other federal disaster aid funds, is because of California. All of our money goes to supporting everybody else who gets fucked. And as you're munching on your pistachios and your almonds and everything else from this state, and you're fucking glad that people are dying, just remember, California after this will still come back and support everybody and continue to provide so much financial aid to the rest of the country that tends to need it. And that happens to be a lot of those red states that are totally
they just can't think outside of their own. They can't think outside of their own shit. They don't care.
I would like if California let me get a generator in California. That would be nice. And I don't want to, poo-poo on Cali.
Yeah.
But I have to drive to Nevada to pick up a generator.
That I didn't know, really?
Yeah, that's because the gas emission, whatever, generators aren't.
Anyway. And while we're on the subject,
I think this place is perfect, and you guys know me. I've had very little like California pride since moving here.
I know it was like 2 weeks ago, Joe. You were like starting to tell me that you kind of were starting to like LA. Just lights on fire.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Like it doesn't run deep, the California pride, but now it's like I understand. I'm on this. This isn't home base for me, but I'm at home right now, and this has been home for a while, and it's just when you're on the other side of the fence and that people are just being so fucking horrible. It's really disheartening and discouraging, like I said.
I mean, I don't want to leave California. I mean, I get that it's like it's scary, and everybody's thinking like, how long do I want to stay here and put up with this kind of shit that could happen at any moment? And then there's the earthquakes and the fucking that could also happen at any moment. But I gotta stay. This is where all my friends are, my family, my people I collaborate with. Like, it would be really hard to like and where would we even go where there wouldn't be like a disaster that could be devastating in some
I think
way?
just Michigan. I think that's it. I think Minnesota,
Yeah.
if you can handle the cold, that's I think that's the golden spot right now. I'm getting fed like r slash Burbank and r slash Los Angeles right now, just on my Reddit. And I saw a really kind of again encouraging, like uplifting post where I think it was r slash Los Angeles. They're like, after this, are you guys even gonna stay? And it was just like post after post after post of, hell no, this makes me want to stay more than ever. I gotta help rebuild. No, man, this is home. This is
We can't abandon this.
like LA strong, Los Angeles forever. So again, like people are, I think it's gonna bring a lot of people and communities together. Um, the worst thing doing it, but it's again, it's inspirational to
Well,
see.
yeah, it's good to know that it's like it is an overwhelming amount of people that are willing to help. And that's like
Even
always heartening.
yeah, like we were pretty nervous. We got out Wednesday because we woke up and we're like, this is too close for comfort, and it smelled like smoke and the eyes were burning. But the night before, our neighbor, who's you know we met under funny circumstances with the car stuff, was like, we have a generator, we have flashlights if you guys need anything. And I was like, excellent, we also have flashlights, we're good. And then when we got to Palm Springs, I was like, are you guys okay? Did you like the idea of checking in, being neighbors and checking in on one another
Yeah,
was not something I've ever done or felt comfortable doing. But now, like through these last couple of weeks, it's like, oh yeah, there is a sense of community here where
totally.
Grace and I will be very like always kind of one foot out, like, do we want to leave, do we want to be here? And it seems like there's like a congealing or like a solidifying of being like, yeah, no, this is it, this is where we are, this is home
Yeah.
for now.
It's like I'm always reminded of the New Orleans folks, the that like they get their like devastating floods
Like every like 5 years.
and they just expect it. Yeah, it's just like clockwork. And then
The hurricanes, yeah.
and the hurricanes, and you're just like like why would you stay? Why if you know it's coming and it will absolutely devastate your community, people will die, why do you stay? And it's like, we fucking, this is our home. This is our home, and our families and generations before us have lived through it and dealt with it, and they all help each other to an insane degree, and it's a beautiful sense of community, and it gives me strength for the people that stick together. It's really cool. It's really cool to see, because and it sucks that it has to be big disasters that bring people together like that, but I won't complain about it.
Yep. um should we talk about something else?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool, Steve.
Whoa, I love it zoomed in on
Whoa.
Joe. I did that.
Oh my god.
Whoa, that was incredible. You have
That
like
was
some
crazy.
kind of
Did you see what you
dynamic
did?
zooming.
Yeah, I can't turn it off.
I
That
love
was
it.
so dramatic.
Like lean back again. Yeah, lean your head. I think it's your head. Like lean your
Oh,
head.
okay.
Whoa.
Like I think it. Yeah.
Yeah,
um
it follows.
I mean, it's hard to
Um,
be like, let's talk about something else when
I
that's
know,
all
what else?
there is going on. But but again, we can't just be like, we're scared and we can't do anything now. We have to move on. We have to continue on. Life finds a way. And we just hope that the people that have been displaced, that they're not in for a road of too long trying to get back on their feet.
This is the watch app that we have.
Watch duty that everyone's, yeah.
Yeah. You see that little blue dot? That's where I am in Burbank. This is what I'm talking about, us being centralized. Look at all three of those big fires.
Screenshot it, locate the street, go find him.
Triangulate.
Yeah.
Well, and you could in all that redness all around is like air quality, right? Like that's like
It's like fire weather watch, then red flag watch, or red flag alert, and then evacuation warning and evacuation order is my
well, I've never
understanding.
had to look at the air quality shit so many times. Like I've recently, like before I'm just like, yeah, we're a big city, big major city, a lot of industry, industrial. Like, of course, we're breathing in terrible shit. Like, air quality isn't going to be like fucking Alaska or whatever, or some high altitude.
Everywhere
place.
we went in Palm Springs was completely sold out of air purifiers.
Yeah, we were looking into it. We were looking
Definitely a
into
good
it.
thing to have.
And I feel really bad. And also shout out to the people who and and I know there were many people out there who tried to buy leaf blowers and they were not working out of the box.
Thank you for saying
I
that.
just want to I know that there are people out there
Here,
and
actually, if you go to the
we see
chat,
you.
I have a charity fund for the leaf blower.
Oh, that's really great, Joe. We'll just put the link in the
Yeah.
description.
Yeah.
Legend
Sorry,
has it, when the Santa Anas blow, all bets are off. Anything can happen.
Just get that out of your eye. Let's get that out of your eyelash.
So there's a anime convention that's happening in Long Beach right now, and I kind of want to go check it out, but I also feel like those places, like conventions. I remember back in the day, going to conventions, even before it was our job to sometimes go to conventions, you would come back and get the con crud, and you would
Yeah.
just like kind of expect to get some kind of flu or cold or whatever. And but now with all these like, airborne disgustings, COVID, and there's like a super norovirus going around. You guys you heard about this? Joe, you might have heard about this.
Reoccurring nightmares, man. Here we go.
Dude. And like your norovirus has probably affected your family before, right? Because kids get into all sorts of gross shit, and they're
Keep my family out of your fucking mouth.
keep the concern for my family out of your mouth. But and I'm fucking terrified of getting this like super norovirus. You know what this is, Elliot? You heard about this?
No, it sounds fun though.
It's a highly contagious bug that it's usually more active in the winter seasons because the bug can survive in the the coldish climates and such. But it's basically like a 48-hour stomach poisoning nightmare where you're just puking and shitting at the same time for nonstop for days. And they're saying that it's all over the place, and it's like even more of a surge now than ever. And I don't know if it, Joe. I don't know if it's this fear mongering shit that's happening, or if it's just common sense kind of shit.
Or
like,
if it's just fear.
or if it's just fear, and we don't know where to put all of the layers of fear that we all have.
I
That's
think if
like,
you
yeah.
wear your K95, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but I just don't want like you just go anywhere where there's a bunch of people together and there's a chance that you could get some kind of fucking thing. And I'm like, and with conventions, it's like, well, I just want to go have fun and be distracted and people watch and see all the cool outfits and shit. And I don't even fucking like anime really. Like I have respect for some of it for sure, but
You're more of a hentai.
I'm way more of a hentai guy. So I'll wait for the adult anime con to come around.
That's actually just in the basement of the.
It is. And it's based on your smell, on whether you're allowed to go in or not. And so for me, it was like I kind of just want to go and escape the horrors of reality. But it's like now with cons, it's like you're just paying for admission to essentially get a cold. Like I'm paying to then get a cold. It's like, is that what I want? Do I want to pay to get a cold right now?
There could be some good Studio Ghibli.
There could be, Joe, and there could be maybe some gifts for people. It's like, oh, hey, I know someone who would like that. Hey, I know someone who would like that perverse garbage. I know someone who would like this thing that looks like it's a little girl, but apparently it's an adult, but it looks way too much like a little girl, and it really is confusing to me why it looks so much like a little girl, but it's an adult.
Is
My
it
favorite
confusing?
show.
What did you say, Joe?
My favorite show.
Welcome back to this anime where all the girls look like little girls, but they're adults. They're actually adults.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you like actually sit down and listen to the story, it's fine. Like you would
Yeah,
understand.
no, it makes sense. She's a vampire and she was bit when she was 5, and that's why she looks 5, even though she's 500. It's there's too many of those storylines. It grosses me out, guys. I'm telling you, it grosses me out. No one has the guts to blow the lid off of that shit, off of that horrible shit where they look like little girls, but
no
they're
one's
not.
saying anything.
No
about
one's
it.
saying. Why is no one saying?
We're all thinking the same thing. Why do they look so young?
Yes. Why do they look so young, but they're not? They get away. It's almost like they found a loophole.
Yeah.
Oh, it grosses me out, man. It grosses me out. And if I go to this convention, I'm just going to see way more of it.
Yes, you
And
are.
I'm going to be like, why? Oh, this is gross. I think we need to leave. We paid to see this gross shit and get cold.
Oh, man.
Do you remember even how, like, okay, in this video game you guys probably never heard of, called Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
There is a character named, I think, Pura or whatever, Pura.
Oh, yeah. And she's
a
in
little
Tears of the
tiny
Kingdom,
thing.
too.
Yeah, and then in Kingdom, she's bonkers hot.
Yes. But she's 13.
Something like that. But then in Breath of the Wild, she's like this big.
Yeah.
And they explain it with like, I did an experiment. Now I'm like this sexy
And it's
thing.
like,
It's like slapping a.
There is a weird amount of sexual tension that made it into Tears of the Kingdom.
Dude,
It's
in
very odd.
every Zelda game. In every Zelda game.
There's a straight up pedo in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
For one of the side quests.
Yep.
We talked about this.
Yep.
Murder the pedo side quest.
I don't solve that side quest. I keep him away from her.
They're really horny games. They're very horny games. Subtextually and also right on the surface. It's very bizarre. No one's talking about it.
Yeah,
no
if
one
you
will just say it.
If you go all the way back to Ocarina and you zoom in on Navi, she's got the biggest
Biggest what?
rack. Like she's
rack.
stacked. You know what she is? She's chesty.
Yeah. But she's an adult. They need to remind you that she is an adult.
What's the thing that she says? What does she go? Hey,
Listen.
Iconic.
I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable in the, like, I know there's a lot of people anime fans, but there's just something makes me feel uncomfortable. There's just an uncomfortable air.
Your Western brain cannot handle the intricacies of Eastern storytelling.
Yep. And we've been telling you this, Steve, for 10 years.
And I love that I'm saying all this and there's a gremlin wearing a bikini behind me.
And it's closest to you.
And it is closest to me, and it has big red kissy lips. But gremlins are adults, guys. Gremlins are adults. They're born adults.
Yeah, how fast does a Mogwai age?
Yeah.
Guys.
Well, how old are they when they come out of the cocoons?
Big news, guys.
What's up, Elliot?
Grace just sent a video. Just so you know, we have these raccoons. She found a video of just the turds everywhere, right in our water fountain.
What do raccoon turds look like?
Do you want to see?
Little dog turds?
Okay. He's getting there,
When
everybody.
the Santa Ana's blow, all bets are off. Anything can happen.
Hang on.
I hope you name your dead leaf blower Santa Ana.
Yeah.
Coming to the stage, Santa Ana
Dude,
wins.
I'm like, this is like it's like a rite of passage or like getting old when I'm like, well, I guess I'll call customer service and complain about the quality of their product. Let me see. How do? You do screen share? Is that what you do?
Mm-hmm.
You got
Send
this, Boo.
request.
Yes, I'm allowing it. Yes.
Is it
Sure,
sharing?
it's allowed.
I see nothing.
Nice.
Let me go full screen. Let's see if that helps.
Come on, baby. You got this. You got this, baby.
I see nothing. I see nothing.
Oh,
Come
Zoom. Was
Okay. Yep. There you go.
This may not be worth it.
Okay.
No, you're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. I have faith. I have faith. I have faith.
When the Santa Ana's blow, all bets are off. Anything can happen. That's it.
Oh.
Oh, I have to quit. Never mind. Anyway, it's turds.
Dude, can you describe them? They look like dog turds.
Yeah, like they look like I would say regular dog turds, incredibly well formed. Like I don't know what these raccoons are eating. We also saw a skunk last night. We set up a new camera outside to start watching them, like a documentary, like a nature documentary.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, it's fun. And we put it right next to him and we've seen him walk by. And then I think the first thing we saw was a skunk. And so this might either be the skunk or the raccoon, but it's just normal turds. I'm actually pretty impressed by the consistency and the firmness of it. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10 firmness, you're looking at a solid 7.
Wow,
Not too firm. Yeah, because that would be
I
probably
gotta get on that raccoon
But
diet.
you're saying more dog/human turd looking
dog.
than like a deer? I'm actually kind of
Yeah.
upset.
I'm a little surprised, to be honest. Normally they'll have like you see kind of just crap in the poop. Like well, but like
Like
Yeah.
little things.
little things.
Foliage.
Well,
Is
and
it
then when
just-
you break them apart, what do you find in there?
Let me ask Grace, what she
What she's been finding when she breaks them apart. Grace is out there breaking breaking little turds. You won't believe what I've found in this raccoon turd. How do you know they're
What
not
you're gonna
human?
find is that I
verify?
think you guys should scrub the footage a little bit more and make sure it's not your neighbor just
Yeah,
coming
that's
in.
what I want to know. You've confirmed that that is definitely
That's
not
true.
human.
It's that kid again who shot out my wife's window.
They're shitting everything. I want to see these turds though. You really are edging the audience. But I guess you described it well.
I
so-
just
No, I
wanna-
don't think I can do it. I'll
All
try
right.
again, but
Well, let's.
oh wait, can I?
Oh.
Hang on. Well, I don't want to show. Hang on. How do I? Oh,
When the Santa Ana's blow.
Look, I don't want to give good ideas away for free, but I'm going to. You guys need to just start a Twitch 24-hour Twitch channel
Yes.
live stream camera of your back patio,
Yes.
and you guys might accidentally become billionaires. I'm just saying.
Hey, and that's the best way to accidentally become them and not actually work
Saying.
for it.
Just saying.
All
is
right,
all I'm-
let's call it. Let's get out of here. I gotta go
No.
shit.
no, wait.
Let's call it. I gotta go shit near Elliot's place. Oh,
Wait,
here we go.
no.
Yeah. Oh, there he. Oh my god,
There's no way.
dude, those are big ass turds.
And do you see that like rectangle shaped? Kind of looks like square because it's not showing all of that.
Oh,
like,
I see it.
block was that they took a tool. They're using tools and they removed that from the fountain
What
to
the
get into the
fuck?
bottom of the fountain
No
to get
way.
like stuff in it,
What's in it?
So,
Like they want to eat the
water.
crud in there?
like water. And they look everywhere for everything. So they take all the rocks out individually to try to see what's under them.
way.
And then apparently they just poop. They poop on the. I've never seen them poop before, and that's pretty.
The craziest part about the poop is that it spells out your name.
Yeah, kind of does. L.
I am so disturbed by how big they are.
They are big.
Yeah, they're significantly sized and right consistency. Like, look at the like
This is like
uniformity of them.
it
No,
looks
I feel like you
human.
guys are confusing humans and raccoons. Are you sure? Go back to the footage.
Well, can you get Grace out there to put a banana down for scale?
Yeah,
So we
Coke
can
can or
really
something.
so we can say, yeah, Coke can.
That is insane. I
Look at
don't think
that.
I'm gonna sleep well.
It's
The fires
disturbing.
are
That's
bad
the most
enough.
disturbing thing I've seen this week, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Number one.
Well,
California.
number
Number
two.
two,
really.
the anime little girls.
Yeah. They
Number
look
two.
like little girls, but they're not. And
Can
then
we just?
I want to go into the convention center and go, may I have your attention? It has come to my attention that a lot of these drawings look like little girls, but they're not. I'm here to warn you all. Does anybody have any explanation for this? What's the reason?
Well, if there was little girls, it would be weird.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. They look like little girls, but there aren't, because if they were, that part would be
That
weird.
would be bad. That would be odd.
That would be bad. Okay, well now I get it. All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening. If you are listening and were affected by these horrible fires, our hearts go out to you, and we hope you guys are safe. And everybody, please stay safe, and have a little empathy for the folks that really went through some terrible shit. Is all I'm saying. We don't have to say that to our audience who's listening to this, because we have some empathetic folks in there for sure.
Except
And
for
some-
that one guy.
Except for
Jake.
that one. Yeah, we know you.
Don't know why you're still listening, Jake.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you for your support.
But for real, thank you, Jake.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to say?
No, good luck, guys. That was a scary time. We like to make jokey jokes, but that was a bit nerve-wracking, and God willing, it doesn't happen again, and hope everybody stays safe.
And we have to make jokey jokes because we're losing our minds over here with how fucked up all this shit is.
Well, and legend has it.
This time of year. Legend has it, when the Santa Anas blow, all bets are off. Anything can happen.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.
You got the belly class, Joe and Steve.